Hey nerds, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you guys some book recommendations, and these are books that I've read in 2026 so far. But before we get into that, I just want to thank you so much for being here, and I really appreciate it. Now let's get into this. If I sound weird, I just got my wisdom teeth removed last week, so I'm still trying to get my jaw to get back to normal. And this list is not in any particular order. I'm just gonna go through them and tell you about them. All right, here we have Happy and You Know It by Laura Hankin. This is the second book by Laura that I've read. I read her book called The Daydreams, and I did a read and rouge on it. If you haven't seen it, here it is. There you go. All right, so this book follows our main character, Claire. She used to be in a big shot band, and then they kind of dumped her, so now she is a children's musician looking for work, and she gets looped into this Mommy and Me group with all these rich bitches. And she plays music for their play group. She's like Lori Berkner. Y'all remember her? She's still at it. Y'all, when I tell you, this book takes off in a direction that I was not expecting. Now, I thought she was gonna go to this Mommy and Me group and she was gonna fall in love with one of them, but no, I could not have been more wrong. Whenever there's rich women involved, especially rich white women, there's going to be mess. There's gonna be a mess. I gobbled this up in like 3 days, and it was really good. The twist in the third act had me on the floor. On the floor. And I do like the relationship, the friendship that she develops with one of the moms. I can't remember her name. I remember being gagged and gooped when I was reading this. If you like drama and like contemporary fiction, this would be a good read for you. I enjoyed it. I think I ranked it a 10 out of 10 when I read it, you know, in January. But yeah, this is Happy and You Know It by Laura Hankin. I hate when I drop my books. I don't mean to, but like, oh my god. All right, this next one is for my murder mystery girlies. Come to the front. Here we have The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. Now, I covered this one in a book haul about 2-ish years ago, and I was really excited to get to this. Now, this is a random thought, but I have to share it with you. So, when you open the book, the author has a quote from Taylor Swift, like as the intro. I'm not gonna lie, that made me apprehensive to read it because I'm like, nothing good comes from the Swifties. But I judged her too quickly because this story is actually very compelling. So we follow our main character, Casey. She is a functioning alcoholic. She's also a celebrity darling. She's an actress, yes, recently widowed, okay? And she has this lake house that she escapes to, not only for rehab, but you know, just to get away from the world. And then she starts spying on this couple from across the lake. Because what else are you going to do in the middle of nowhere other than nurse yourself with alcohol? She actually ends up becoming friends with the woman in the house across the lake. You know, they get close, and then all of a sudden she disappears. And Casey thinks the husband is responsible for her friend's disappearance. That's all I'm gonna leave it at. When I'm sorry, it's coming back to me as I'm talking about it. When I got to the reveal and the twist in this one, I had to close the book. I will say this, I had a very complicated relationship with Casey because there were times where I was on her side, and then there were times where I was like, baby, honey. I like the way this was written, and I like the way it was paced, so yeah, good job, Riley. All right, next one. This is for my crime girlies. Come to the front, please. Come. Here we have The Pledge by Kathleen Kent. I got this a long time ago, okay? So I will warn you, this is book 3 of a trilogy. I did not know that when I purchased this 3 years ago. And I should have paid more attention because I tend to do that a lot. I tend to pick up books that are belonging to a series and not knowing it. I mean, there's no indication, but then when you flip to the back of the spine of the jacket, you see the other 2 down there. I didn't do that, and I didn't think to look it up and see what these other 2 books are listed at the bottom. But hey, even though this is part of a trilogy, this could function as a standalone, and it's very good. So here we have our main character right here on the cover. Her name's Elizabeth, but she goes by Betty, okay? She's a cop, darling. She's a cop. She's also a lesbian, married to a nurse. I had to throw that in there. She gets into it with not only a drug lord, but a cult leader who wants to kill her. Because apparently, I'll spoil this little part. Apparently, in the last book, before this one, she killed that cult leader's son. So now the cult leader wants to kill her. Everybody's just out for Betty at this point. And this cult leader has very voracious supporters, okay? They're scary. Like, whenever they would come into contact with Betty, I would be scared for her. And on top of everything else, Betty and her wife have adopted a newborn baby. Well, not newborn, but a very young baby. And guess what? The baby turns up missing. The cult leader kidnapped the baby. This story is definitely one to read. Now that I've saved you from doing what I did and not looking further into it to see if this was part of a trilogy or not, you know, maybe read the first two. I plan on reading the first two whenever that is, but this one by itself is really good. I think I ranked this like a 10, or no, a 9 out of 10. Pretty good. Oh, I didn't rank this one 9 out of 10 as well. But yes, the pledge. I'm excited about this next one. Here I have Big Girl by Mecca Jamila Sullivan. I also did this one in a book haul 2 years ago. So we follow our main character, Malaya. She starts out, you know, at 8 years old, and we kind of see her grow from a young child to a teenager, and she is dealing with being a plus size person. This book was so real and so heartbreaking in some parts, and I just appreciate Mecca for writing something, you know, like this, because a lot of people could relate to this. I know I did in some elements of the book. Now, I'm not a plus size woman, or I did not grow up plus size, but I definitely experienced some of the things that Malaya did, you know, as far as socially being targeted, you know, for weight gain or like my different appearance, and then also having parents who mean well or family members that mean well, but they end up hurting you in the end. So I definitely felt for Malaya, and it's just such a good piece of literature to have, and to, you know, kind of open your mind to what it's like for plus size people, especially plus size women, and the struggles that they physically and mentally go through. I cried multiple times while reading this. It's one of my favorites now. So yeah, I rated this one a 10 out of 10 because it was so good. I love it. Okay, don't roast me for this next one, all right? But I have The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Look, girl, I know I am 18 years late to the book, and I'm, what, 14 years late to the movie as well, but I don't care. So my best friend Haley actually has been pushing me, urging me, begging me, peer pressuring me to get into the series because it's her favorite series. So she was like, girl, read the damn book. So she pushed me to buy the first 3. I was missing out, and I know some people call this series overrated. I see why, but I don't think that. Suzanne did the damn thing. She did the damn thing. Now, I'm not gonna go into the specifics of this story because I feel like this book is so widely known that even if you haven't read or seen The Hunger Games, you kind of know what it entails. Actually, no, yeah, let me break it down just a little bit. So we're in a dystopian in North America, right? A version of North America called Panem. And just like back in the day, like there were 13 colonies, we got 12 districts, all right? And our main girl, Katniss, all right, she's from District 12. And each district is known for something. You got one that's known for fishing, one that's known for textiles, one that's known for agriculture. Hers is known for mining. And it's just her and her little sister and her mom, who is not, let's be honest, she's not that present of a mother, but she's doing the best of what she can. And there's this annual event called the Hunger Games where 2 kids from each district, one boy, one girl, will be drawn out of the hat and chosen to compete. Basically, it's like some gladiator shit. The rich are putting 24 children in an arena to watch them kill each other. And then there will be one victor, and then they get a title of like the winner of the Hunger Games, and then they, you know, they get all like the social glory or whatever, what have you, girl. That's all I'm gonna say about it. If you haven't read it like I have, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm kind of glad that I waited so long to get into this, because, and I've said this on the channel, if you're new here, I'll tell you guys, but when there is something that has a lot of hype around it, whether it's a movie or a book or a show, I tend to distance myself from it deliberately, because I don't want the clutter of, you know, other people's opinions, especially that of the internet's kind of, you know, weaseling its way in as I'm trying to form my own opinion. Not that I can't, you know, with that on top of it. I just want to consume the material in a space where it's not overwhelming. So yeah, I held off on this a lot. I never got into like that YA dystopian genre. I still haven't gotten into Divergent or Maze Runner. Baby, I don't know nothing about that, okay? And I didn't know anything about the Hunger Games. So now that I've read this one, I'm very excited to read, what's the next one? Girl on Fire, Catching Fire, sorry, Girl on Fire. And also Mockingjay. So yeah, Suzanne did a really good job of her commentary on history repeating itself, and then also classism. So I enjoy that always, but yeah, 10 out of 10 for the Hunger Games. This next one, I am obsessed. So here with me, I have Curvy Girl Summer by Danielle Allen. Now, I am always looking for books written by women, mostly by Black women. And I'm gonna be honest, I found out about this on TikTok. I did, sue me. And I kept seeing it everywhere, because, you know, I'm on that side of TikTok where, you know, people will post what they be reading, and I kept seeing this. I said, okay, let me give it a try. So girl, I read this, y'all, I finished this in less than 48 hours. I gobbled this. This is also part of a trilogy. Before you get excited, this is part of a trilogy, okay? And this is the first book in the trilogy. So we follow our main character, Aaliyah, and she is just trying to find love. She's a true romantic, okay? She's a true romantic at heart, and she made this bet with herself to find her a boyfriend before her 30th birthday. Mainly because her parents won't get off her back about it, but she truly does want to have a compassionate, loving, committed relationship. So she tries online dating, honey, and every date is a bust. And she's meeting these dates at a bar that she likes to frequent. And at this bar, we meet the bartender, Ahmad. That's him right there. That's him right there. And they form an unlikely friendship. And I think you know where this is going, darling. This is a friends to lovers. And that's all I'm gonna say. The reason why I love this book so much is not only is because it's written well, is because I have never related more to something, and we need more of this. In this trilogy, the three leading ladies, there's three of them, and Aaliyah, this is her, she's like the first one that we meet, right? They're all plus size women, right? Black, beautiful, plus size women. And I like that Danielle does not shy away from the negative reactions and interactions that plus size women, Black women have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. She sprinkles it throughout the story, and it's not portrayed in, or she doesn't write it in a way where it's like stereotypical or harmful, but it's harsh, but it's based in reality, and I like that. And then she writes these characters, you know, taking that on and not internalizing it because they're so secure within themselves. And I like that she's writing secure Black plus size women who know who they are, know who that they're beautiful. It's just so uplifting, and you can tell that she takes her time pouring into these main characters. I say that because I'm reading the second one right now called Plus Size Player. Oh, I can't wait to get to that third book, I'm telling y'all. But I am recommending this book to y'all, especially those of you who are looking for more romance book written by Black women. And then also, she doesn't write these toxic ass men, okay? She doesn't. She writes emotionally intelligent and compassionate men. We love, we love, we love. If you're new here, I'll tell you this, I have a love-hate relationship with the romance genre, okay, because of the tropes that it has birthed. But Danielle is making me fall in love with the genre again because she's just that good. So yeah, Curvy Girl Summer, go get you a curvy. Staying on the topic of books written by Black women, we have Act Your Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert. Now, I've talked about Talia Hibbert in 3 of my book hauls now. This is also a part of a series. I know, a lot of series. This is the final book in the trilogy of the Brown sisters. You have Get a Life, Chloe Brown, Take a Hint, Dani Brown, and then you have this one, Act Your Age, Eve Brown. I read it backwards. I actually did read Get a Life, Chloe Brown first, but then I thought this was the second one. Turns out Take a Hint, Dani Brown is the second one, so I still have to read that one. But it's okay because this is so cute. I love it. So we follow our main character Eve right there, okay? Plus size girly again, okay? And she's like this type B, free-spirited person, you know? She just goes with the flow, and she has purple braids. Like, how fun is she, you know? But for real, she's struggling to find purpose and balance in her life. So after her rich parents cut her off, she is in search of finding something that she's passionate about, and then she can prove her parents wrong. And then we have Jacob. Here he go right here. The complete polar opposite of Eve. Type A, no bullshit, very serious guy, okay? And then by chance, these two meet at his bed and breakfast. Jacob owns a bed and breakfast, love, and Eve just storms in and changes his life, and then he changes her life too. This is an enemies to friends to lovers. There's something important that I want to point out in this book. So both of our main characters are on the spectrum. Yes, and I love that Talia doesn't make it, first of all, she doesn't make it their entire personality, and then she doesn't let that dictate how the characters flow. They're still regular people with wants and needs, and she doesn't shoehorn them into stereotypes. She goes about it the right way, and I adore that, of course. And again, same thing as Danielle Allen. She writes such compelling characters, especially her male characters who aren't toxic, overtly domineering men. Jacob actually has a brain in his head. He has a brain in his head, and he doesn't let his dick think for him. Well, I won't go as far as say that. Most of the time. I really did like their development and their story. So this one is an 11 out of 10. Talia Hibbert 8 with that. So yeah, there you go. All right, last one that I'll leave y'all alone. Mystery Girlies, if you're still here, come back. Here we have The Family Game by Catherine Steadman. Now, honey, I thought this was like some Ready or Not, you know, type B, especially like in the first, you know, I want to say 50 pages. It was giving Ready or Not, and I'm like, wait, is this based off of Ready or Not? I had to check which one came out first, but it isn't, alas. So we follow our main character, Harriet, girlies from the UK, and she's about to marry into this very wealthy, prominent family. The Holbeck family. Yes, darling. As she's starting to meet her fiance's family, she's like, okay, you know, rich people are weird, and they very much are weird, because like, why is it that when rich people have all this access to money, they choose to be strange? Like, I don't know what that's about. But the more that she's starting to find out about this family, the more hesitant she becomes about marrying into said family, especially with the daddy. Oh, I forgot to add, Harriet is also a published author, honey. She's successful, okay? She's a writer. So her fiance's dad gives her a tape recording and said, hey, this is inspo for your next murder mystery. So she listens to this tape and she's like, this man is not confessing to murder twice. And so she's looking at the whole family sideways, especially the dad, and she doesn't know if she should tell her fiance, because like, what if he doesn't know? But then again, what if he does know? And like, what if he, you know, it gets real twisted real fast. Y'all, the reveal the twist in this, I was looking crazy. I was looking so stupid because I was like, how did I not see it? How did I not see it coming? Maybe I'm dense like that, but I was like, how did I not see it coming? But the twist was good nonetheless. And that third act, honey, they got down in the third act. So yeah, if you like drama and, you know, commentary on the upper class, here you go. Here you go. This is for you. I rated this one a 10 out of 10 as well because it kept me on the edge of my seat. Now, I will say, this is kind of a slow burn. So if you don't really like that, maybe not for you, but I would say at least give it a try because yet don't start picking up until like around page 81. So if you make it that far, then go ahead. I wasn't too sure about this one, but then I kept reading and I'm glad I did. But yeah, The Family Game. So those are my book recs for 2026 so far. I was gonna wait until the end of the year, but I was like, no, do it now because I got some good picks over here. So that concludes our video for today. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. And then if you made it to the end of this video, comment a yellow heart. Just because. All right, so quick update. I am gonna start working on notes for the Curvy Girl Summer Reading Rouge very, very soon. I put a poll up and you guys said you wanted a video on this one, so I'm gonna start getting those notes, you know, clacking. But yeah, that's it. And subscribe if you want to. I'll see y'all on the next go round. Okay, bye.